Hello, everyone.
Uh,
Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining in, guys. So we're gonna wait for few seconds for people to join, and then we will get started.
Hardik, let me know, are we able to see the screen?
Yep, I can see the screen.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, whoever has joined, just wanted to ask: any one of you guys are coming to the Scaling New Heights event that is taking place next week? Okay. Laurie. So we will see you then there. So we are leaving tomorrow. So yeah, hope to see you soon. Oh, I see, Tiffany. I can understand. All right. Nick, if we wanted to,
Yeah,
if we want to get started, we can do that.
yeah, sure.
Just as you guys know, we are recording this. So those of you who are not able to make it today, we would be able to share the recording afterwards.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. As Hardik mentioned, uh, I'm Nick. I'm one of the co-founder at Xenett. So today we are meeting about, we'll be talking about, what are the some new stuff we are bringing at Xenett. So just to give you a, quick background, as most of you know that Xenett has already been specializing more on the review and close side. Today we will be unveiling some of the new features which will set the foundation for us to go more deeper into practice management software, right? So today we'll discuss about the new direction. We'll walk through the new features which we will be launching very soon by next week, and we'll also talk about what's coming next. What's the like our future roadmap look like, and we'll also give you a quick gist about recent launch about Zenit Pulse, and then at the end we'll do the question and answer session. Okay, so just to give you background. As most of you are already using Xenett, you know that how we got started and you know what is Xenett known for, right? Xenett is basically known for automating the review process and streamlining the close process. So our focus and commitment is definitely going to more go deeper into this space, and we would like to make sure that every element of close process can be covered. And as all of you know that as part of this we have also launched AI review plan as well, where we have covered so many different clearing account points, intercompany reconciliation. So we will continue to make good enhancement in this space. But now talking about like where's the problem lies, I mean, rather than problem, I would say most of you, the people who have been already using Xenett, we have been getting lot of requests from our existing customers. Right now, if you ideally see what is happening, on one side, you have to use the any workflow management system, and at the same time, you are using any review tool. Let's just say using Xenett. Now, what happens that there are so many features which get overlapped in both of these tools. At times you get confused that where you should be setting things up, where you should be managing projects, where you should be reviewing the books, right? So in order to give lot of our customers an ability to move into one platform, we have decided to go more deeper into practice management, which means we'll be introducing lot of practice management features on our platform, which gives ability for certain firms, if let's just say if they wants to decide to move from any practice management software to our platform. So we are definitely setting that foundation, and today we'll be walking through a lot of this feature, which will give you an insight that how that will set the tone for the practice management software. Hardik, would you like to add something here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, like until now, our major focus has always been to kind of be expert when it comes to month end close. So if you guys look at our recent developments, we added a lot of features around automations, which is prepaid expense automation. We added intercompany automation. We added deferred revenue automations. A lot of these automations. So we kind of been at the level where we really kind of nailed down the whole month end close automation. And the thing was that a lot of our customers are using a different practice management tool, and then they also use Xenett for the month end close. And the problem that we have been hearing continuously was that obviously there are a lot of features which are overlapping, like you have a client portal in Xenett, and then they have a client portal in their workflow management system, and there is a lot of duplication also happens. So uh, and that's why we've been kind of talking to our customers, and we really saw a need that there is definitely a really requirement of a good practice management software that has some inbuilt review and close automated automation features, and that is the direction that we are heading towards. So if you can move to the next slide. So if you look at this whole thing, right, the practice management, if we just look at the first table, where practice management are generally good at workflows, project managements, and then dashboards, client portal task. And if you look at the last table, which is the review tools, they are generally very much focused at reviewing the books, like finding the errors, right? They're not that good at the task management or client portal. And if you look at the middle table, and this is where Xenett fits in, because Xenett is already taking care of a lot of things with the closed automation. In fact, it also has abilities for the project management, task management as well. So we are just getting into this direction where a firm can really use Xenett for the entire workflow management system. All right. So this is where Xenett would actually fit in. If you can get into the next slide. There's one more slide that I would like to. Can you go the next slide as well? Sorry. Yeah, the next. Yeah. Okay. So here is no, the one before. Okay. So see, at this point, we already have two plans in Zenith. The AI Financial Review Plan. This plan we have designed mainly for those firms who have some practice management software in place or may not have that practice management software in place, but all they care about is the faster month end close, right? So we already have this plan and we will continue to have this plan. This plan is mainly focused on reviewing QuickBooks and zero data, finding all the different kinds of issues and helping you with the month end close process. So that will continue to work. The workflow plan, which is already there, in this workflow plan, we already have some features which are like practice management features, like here in workflow plan, you can create project, you can create task, you can track time. A lot of these things are related to workflow, like practice management. So what we are now doing is we are not actually introducing any new plan as such, but we are enhancing this workflow plan itself, and we're going to call it practice management plan, where we will be adding a lot of new features. So today, now if you can go back to a slide back, today we will be showcasing these features. I'm not going to showcase the whole Zenit as such, but today's main agenda is to highlight these features. We recently introduced Firm Insights, so we'll talk about that. Uh, Email integration that we have just finished up with, which is Gmail, and you can actually connect your Microsoft 365. You can also now integrate Google Drive and OneDrive. So that's also we will be talking about. And these are like capacity planning, client profitability, and workflow automation. These are like in the works, right? So this is what we'll be talking today, right? So now I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'll talk about the email integration first, and then we'll touch base on those different features as well, right? And as I explain, and in case if you guys have any questions in between, feel free to leave them in the chat. Don't wait for the session to end. I mean, our team is on the call, and they would be able to answer your questions as well. All right. So now I'm going to share my screen and talk about the email. So just give me a second. Now, before I actually start explaining the use case for the email, let me explain the major problems that we have identified with the email. And these are some of these problems where our customers have noted, like, see, right now what happens is that your email, obviously you guys are using your native email client, which could be Gmail or Outlook. And what happens is that you have your client's email coming in into your Gmail or Outlook, but then if you need to perform a task on that email, then you would have to manually come to Xenett and create the task, assign it to your people, right? So that's like a manual thing that you have to do it right now. The second thing is that, like, your task, your client information, your client questions, everything is inside Xenett, but your client related communication is actually outside in your native email client, right? So it's like it's also scattered a bit, correct? Third thing is that at times, like, you also do a lot of back and forth with the emails with your internal team. So if I get an email from my client, I then have to forward it to my team member, then my team member will forward his response to me, and then in return I will send the response back to the client as well. So there is also literally a lot of inefficiency with the email, and there was a need for bringing the email inside the workflow management system itself to bring more efficient system, right? And that is why we have now introduced this email integration, and that will actually take care of all these challenges that I was just talking about, right? So the very first thing that will happen is that, as I explained, you would now be able to add your Gmail or Outlook Microsoft 365 in here. Now, there are two kinds of account that you can add. One, you can add your own personal email account. In second, you can also add your shared email account as well, right? So I have got to find, like, many firms use like shared account, like support at xyz.com, right? So if you guys also use that shared email account, you can also connect that, right? With the shared email account, the good thing is that what's going to happen is that right now, what you may be doing is that you'll have to share that username and password with them. Here, once you connect that shared account, all you then can start doing is just select the staff who you want to give access to, and your staff will then have access to that shared account, right? And then personal is your personal email account that you can kind of connect it here, right? So that's like a two ways, two kinds of accounts that you can actually edit here, right? Now, once you integrate your email, I mean, obviously you start seeing your emails, you can compose emails. I mean, that those are like basic features. So I'm not definitely gonna talk more on that. But the most important thing is that, so now instead of me going to my Gmail account or Outlook account, I would come here. The thing is that, let's just say if I see that, okay, there is this particular email, and I really wanted to create a task on this email, I should be able to just simply do it from here. So when you click on this three dot, you can actually create a new task, and you can then basically assign it to whoever you want, right? So it's like, you, what's going to happen when this task is created, that email will also be linked. So not all you have to do is just simply type the task name and that's it, right? The person who this particular task is assigned to will always have a reference to this email, right? So that way you don't have to do any sort of copy paste as such with the email. Okay, so that's that. The another thing that you can do with this is that if you already have a task, you can also link it with that as well, right? So you just have to find the task, just link it. So that existing, that email will be linked to the existing task as well, right? So that's that. One of the other good thing is that, see, if you are also using Xenett's client portal, okay, now if you have added client users, so let's just say if I go into demo company, right? Actually, Just a second. Let me just close this. Just give me a second, guys. I need to close some of the application. All right. So let's just say I'm in demo company and I have already invited my client users. So imagine if you have already added those client users here, and what's going to happen is that all of your emails that you have received from this client or you have sent to those client users, that is something that you will be able to find it here inside dashboard, right? So it's like while you are on that client, if you quickly wanted to go through all their emails, you don't have to go to your inbox and kind of find your client emails manually. All you simply do while you are into that client, simply go to email, and all of your emails for those client users will start showing up here, right? So that way, that will be very, very handy. So anytime you wanted to quickly grab any client communication, you'll be able to find it, right? So that's another feature, another handy feature that you guys will be getting it. All right. So now let me just go back to my system. All right. Now, with the email, another thing that you can do is that the internal comments, right? So what happens, guys, is that let's just say I kind of got this email from my client and I want my team member to work on it. Typically, what would happen is like I'll have to forward it to my team member, and then they basically will just have to do back and forth in the email. We have a comment feature as well where you can just say like, "Hey, can you please take care of this?" So now I'm not actually forwarding the email as such. Like the whole communication will stay inside Xenett, but as a comments, right? So that will just avoid unnecessary email trail as well. Correct. So that's that's also a useful feature. Um, One more thing you could do with this. Let me. What's wrong here? 1 second. Okay. One more thing that you can do here is that um, let's just say I want this email, but I want my colleague to take care of it, correct? So I can actually assign as well from here, correct? So imagine if I have more users in my firm who have also connected their email account, I can also assign it. So some of the emails I mean, the emails can be assigned to you as well as the email, you can also assign it to your people as well. So that's also possible. The good thing is that with the assigned emails is that you're not forwarding it, right? So what's going to happen as I'm looking at my inbox, and if I am seeing those assigned emails, I know that I need to take care of those emails, right? So same way, I don't need to forward those emails to my colleague. If I want my colleague to take care of any of the emails, I can just simply use this assign feature and then assign that particular email to my colleague as well, right? So that's something that you can also do that. All right. The another thing we could do is that let's just say I received this particular email and that is for a specific project that I'm working on. Let's just say this email is for my month end close project, right? So what's going to happen is that I can actually link project. So in my demo company, this project is for my monthly close. So I'm just going to click on link. Uh, all right, link. So now what's going to happen when I go to that project, you would be able to see the email. Let me just show you real quick. All right. So now while you are inside that project and as you're working on it, if you quickly wanted to see like, okay, are there any emails for you to take care? You can actually find those emails related to this project, right? So I mean, in this example I give you for it was for monthly close, but imagine you've been talking something on year end close, you've been talking something on client onboarding. So think of connecting those specific emails to specific project. So whoever is working on that particular project will be able to find those related communications right there, right? So those are some of the features about the emails, right? All right, now I'm gonna switch the gear and I'm gonna talk about the integration with Google Drive and OneDrive, correct? So until now, I mean, similar to email, your documents are also scattered because like you have your task project everything here, but then you might be using your Google Drive or OneDrive, so you often have to kind of switch between the apps. So on the same line, we have now introduced an integration with Google Drive and OneDrive as well, where you can quickly find your documents here. For that, this is how it's going to work. As a firm owner, because firm owner, like you guys either would be using Google Drive or OneDrive. At least these are the two integration that we have done so far. In future, we may be adding more like Dropbox, but we'll just wait for people to come up with suggestions and we'll add that. So what's going to happen is that the firm will have to first configure, connect their whether it's going to be OneDrive or Google Drive. So let me just show you real quick. So when you go to settings, inside form information, you can see connect external drive. Now in this case, like firm will have to connect whether it's a Google Drive or OneDrive. So once that is done, each user of the firm can then start connecting their OneDrive and Google Drive. So let me show you how it's going to work, right? So see, the way my Google Drive is configured is that I have different folders for each of my client. Okay. Now, Xenett would not know, like if I'm into demo company, it would not know what folder of Google Drive that it has to display here, right? So when you go to files, right, you will then see this Google Drive icon here. For the very first time, it is going to ask you to map that particular client folder, right? Because then it would not know what is that client in your Google, because we cannot just simply go by the client name. So for the very first time, you are just map the folder. And once you map the folder, all of your Google Drive or OneDrive document will start displaying it here, right? So as you can see, this is the folder that I have already mapped. And these are the documents related to like documents in that particular folder. As you guys also know that we also have our own storage as well. So that will be there, but in addition to that, if you are using Google Drive or OneDrive, you can additionally connect your storage so that you don't need to separately go anywhere to pull those files, right? Now, the good thing with this is that obviously those documents will be handy. So like you can just simply open it up here. And then in case if you wanted to open it directly on Google Drive or OneDrive, there is a quick link for that as well. In case if you there is a two-way sync, which means that if you delete it here, that will be deleted the other side as well. If you upload a new document, again, it will be both the ways, right? So obviously that will be there. But there will be some additional features that I would like to talk about. With this Google Drive and OneDrive connected, imagine while you are creating a task, right? If you have a file in your particular Google Drive folder, right now it's a manual process because there is no integration. So what you might be doing is that you're probably copying the link of that Google file or OneDrive and then you're manually putting into the task, right? Since now the OneDrive and Google Drive will be integrated, while you're creating a new task, you will be directly able to pull it from here itself, right? So that will be handy. Similarly, what's going to happen? Imagine when you have asked a client questions, right? So let me just show you here. So imagine I asked questions to my client, and my client responded that here is a document, right? From here, right now, this is what you guys are doing, where you are downloading the document and then manually uploading it into your Google Drive or OneDrive folder. But with this integration, you would not have to do it manually as such. You would be directly push it to that particular Google Drive and OneDrive folder from here, right? So that's also going to be possible. So basically, there's going to be a lot of uh, smoothness with the whole because uh, like you don't literally have to go to your Google Drive as such. As long as you have configured it here while you are in particular client, like if I'm in demo company, I already have my profit and loss here. I already have my task here, my comments here, my client communication here. Then why not email? Then why not files? So on the same line, you would be able to find your emails, your documents, everything here, right? So that's more on the Google Drive and OneDrive integration. I mean, there are a lot of use cases around that, but like high level from the workflow perspective, they should serve the purpose. All right. Now I'm going to talk about the latest insights that we have added, which we kind of received some great feedback from many of you. In fact, we also received some suggestions as well on that. And we're happy to kind of work on that as well. So we recently introduced this closed dashboard, and then we introduced this closed overview. Then we introduced this bookkeeping dashboard. So we'll also be talking about that one by one. Okay. So with the closed dashboard, the intention behind this is that uh, as a firm owner, if I wanted to see where things are, right, in terms of how I'm doing as a firm for my monthly close process, right? So here, by changing the period, you would be able to see the status of all of your clients, right? So this is like I'm looking at July 2025 for all my clients here, right? So this is where I can see that, okay, these are the total clients. Uh, Two closes are pending. This many are completed. And here we even show you how many of them were completed on time, how many of them were completed but completed late, how many closes are not due yet. So you can see, you as a firm owner, like what is happening across, right? So that is like this insight. Then you can also see the critical client overdue. Then you can also have information about all of your clients, where each of your clients stands in terms of the different close statuses, correct? What is your average close time looks like? So as a firm, let's just say my expectation is that I generally wanted to close my books on, let's just say, around 15 days. So here you would be able to see, like, are you actually getting into the direction or not? So that way you would be able to see, like, okay, are you really closing by 15th, 13, 16, 20? Like, so that way you would be able to find out which are those clients which are causing the delays in your close process, right? So we kind of added the insight so that you can look at those clients which are delaying your close process so that you can focus on that. All right. So that's that. Now let's talk about the close overview. This is where you can see the helicopter view of all of your clients, and we kind of display last 6 months of the close statuses, right? So here you can see, like, okay, out of all of your clients, this many months not started, this many months started, this many months completed. So you can kind of also like filter it, add some more columns here. So example, if you're dealing with different industry clients, so if you quickly want to filter it that, okay, I only want to see my real estate clients, so you can enable that client properties and you can actually filter it that way as well, right? So this is to give you guys an idea the close, because right now, until now, what used to happen, you would go to this project, but it was more like in a list view, right? Like it wasn't in a summarized way. And this is exactly what we have done. Now you can see the close overview in a summarized way, in a like more like a tabular format. All right. So that's that. And then we have introduced this bookkeeping dashboard as well. This is also a nice thing where if you've installed our browser extension, right? So what happens is that every time you log into any particular QuickBooks file, what we are doing is that, because some information QuickBooks API won't let anyone fetch it, right, through API. And that is where we're kind of pulling that information through our browser extension. So what we are doing here is that, imagine if you have 100 clients, then for all of your clients, we can display all of your bank accounts, when exactly they were reconciled last, what was the date, how many transactions are yet pending in your bank feed, whether the bank feed is broken, connected. So basically, it's a summarized view. Summarized view. Right now, you have to go into every single client, and then I mean, QuickBooks does have a summary, but it's not at this detail level, right? So in this case, if you have installed our browser extension, you would be able to see this. All right. So these were the features that we have kind of been working so far rolled out. But upcoming features we are already in the works and will be rolling out early next month, which is our capacity planning, right? Uh, because now Zenit obviously can track time. You guys will also be able to enter the budgeted hours. Um, Another with on that line also, we are also adding the client profitability. So what's going to happen is that you would be able to find out whether these particular clients are profitable to you or not. So for that, you can also set up your cost rate for your employees, and you will be able to get get the client profitability report as well. All right. So that's that. And then the workflow automation is also in the work. So these three features that we will be rolling out early next month, where with the workflow automation, let me give you some use cases. What's going to happen is that you could set up some automations where, let me actually pull up Xenett real quick. So if you are in a specific project, and you could say that, okay, if my all these tasks are completed, then I want an email to go out to my client or my supervisor or my reviewer, right? So you can decide the triggers, you can decide the actions, and based on that, it will perform however you want it to, right? So that's like workflow automations. All right, let me see the chat real quick. If there are any questions for me. So Sandeep, can Jenna directly send email requests from connected email for monthly document for recurring monthly project or similar checklist request sent to client? So yes, Sandeep, with this workflow automation, you will be able to do that. Right now, the way our customers are doing it is like they use our client portal, and we already have a feature where you can set up the recurring questions as such, right? So it's not literally sending the emails, but since the client users are already using our portal, what Janet is doing is that it is actually creating those questions on a recurring basis. So whenever client logs into the portal, they will be able to see that. So, but to your specific request, with this workflow automation, you would be able to decide that, okay, on this particular day, I want an email to go out from my own account to my client. So you will be able to do that. Um, so Meryl, looking at your comment, captioning somewhere on this platform. No. Um, do you expect to integrate with Odoo ERP soon? Not really. Um, not we have not received as such that many requests. So yeah, I'm just looking at the chat real quick now. Oh, there are so many of them. So I'm just looking at from the descending. So can we add clearing accounts to rec screen beside just bank? So Sherry, here is what we are doing, right? Um, whatever accounts that you are literally reconciling in your QuickBooks file, we are just pulling that, right? So there is nothing like a list or configuration as such that we are doing here. All we are simply doing is extension is reading that particular reconciliation report from the QuickBooks, and whatever it sees on that report, it would just kind of show it up here, right? Can we connect communication email within the workflow? GST filing as communication email template that states how much GST is on workflow communication. Okay, more probably you're talking about some previous chat, so I'll have to get some context on that. Is there anything in the pipeline around customizing the alerts for things on client portal? Yes, Megan, we have already a lot of things in pipeline for client portal. So we do have some great things coming up from client portal for client portal as well. Okay, by the way, one of the features which was also requested quite often was the announcements. So the broadcast, right? So that is also coming up, which I have not covered, but the whole use case was that if you have some holidays coming up and you want to introduce some sort of banner on client portal, or you want to do some broadcast email to all of your clients in one go, you would be able to do that. So that's one of the, and the another thing is, Megan, we are also changing. See, right now, whenever an email is going to the client, it's it just says the same text like, we need your feedback, click on it. That's all they see, right? But we are actually now going to start showing the actual request along with the due date. So when the client receives the email, they exactly can see the questions along with the due date, along with the priority in case if you've set it up. So that way it will look more customized. Box, yes, Box and Dropbox is certainly on our roadmap. So we just wanted to start it with, Google Drive and OneDrive first. But yes, those are certainly on our roadmap. If an employee user leaves the company, will whatever is already in the client Xenett stays there? Yes, Saina. So that shouldn't be a problem as long as you do not delete the client um, from Xenett, then the data will remain in Xenett. So, Erin, if you sort an email into an email folder in Xenett, will it be sorted in Outlook too? Yes. So, again, I just wanted to confirm the understanding by sort. Like if you are changing the folder, moving the email from one folder to another, yes, like it is a two-way sync. So guys, I mean, all these features are very, very, very much developed. The only thing that we are waiting on right now is, I mean, you can actually connect the email. I mean, we can make it live, but the only thing is like whenever you are going to connect the Microsoft email or Google Drive, I mean, Google email, it would say unverified, which we don't want it because we have to go through a proper verification process, which is in the progress right now. So as soon as we expect to get that verification badge in about 2 weeks from now, so you can expect the whole functionality to go live in about 2 weeks. So the moment we get that verification badge from Microsoft and Google, we're gonna make this live. So do you support clients contract management, renewal reminders, contract agreement issuing? Not right now, but um, I mean, we have been constantly brainstorming around it because I'm not sure if you're aware, but we recently launched a separate tool which is called Xenett Pulse, which is more like a diagnostic tool where you can create diagnostic reports. So on that life cycle, we were thinking to add some more stages to that. So yes, we are actively considering that. So we kind of figure out how to pull that into Xenett and Xenett Pulse. So now the good thing, guys, is that all of these features that I was talking to you, we're not gonna charge anything for that. So if you are already using our workflow plan, it will be part of that only. So it's not nothing sort of add-on or any additional price for all of those features that I was just talking about. So all right, so the floor is open. I mean, guys, in case if you have any other questions, anything, feel free. So Melissa, the close and bookkeeping dashboards are already live. Those, yeah. Only thing which is not live is the email and storage because both involves Microsoft and Google verification. But yeah, so when you go to your client list, you would be able to see that bookkeeping dashboard, and so like on the client list itself, you will see the tabs. So Laurie, if you can just simply send us an email on support@xenett.com, then our support team will take care of your request. Yes, Kristen. I think about the client portal enhancements that I was just talking about. Um, it should be available this month itself. you will have a final financial review tab for the client portal on the okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah, so they should be available either end of this month or early July because we've already started working on that particular feature. It's more like your client will then be able to look at the comments. In fact, along with the comments, if you want your clients to be able to see the attachments that you've attached, like working files or permanent files, they'll also be able to see this as well. So you can expect around late this month or early July. Now, those of you guys who have, because we also had another launch webinar for Xenett Pulse. So those of you guys who like have not heard at all about Xenett Pulse, I just want to quickly take a couple of minutes to talk about that real quick. So we have recently launched a new app. It's called Xenett Pulse. All it simply does is that for your prospect clients, it actually reviews your QuickBooks file, and then it will actually create a white label financial reports that you can share with the client. It analyzes the health of the books. It will highlight the issues, not just the issues, but it will also highlight the facts, like the stats which are already right. And based on that, it will kind of create a white label report that you can share with the client. So we did actually send out the notification, but while you guys are here, and in case if you guys do not have any clue about this, this is what we have recently launched, where like this is my prospective client, where I have my cover page, where you can actually put some report overview. And this is what Xenett Pulse does. It has analyzed the QuickBooks file. It has found out the QuickBooks health score. At a glance, it highlights some of the things, the top risk areas. It also highlights your the current reconciliation status from your QuickBooks file as well, right? And the review finding, this is where it tells you like how many things are good, how many things have some problem. And the good thing is that it has not only it says it has a problem, but it will also help you know the exact details as well. So if it says unclear transactions, you can see there are three of them. You can click on it and you can also drill down to the transaction level as well. All right. So that's that. Just the whole idea was that you can actually connect your prospect QuickBooks file. You can look at it. You can download the PDF white label report. You can there then share it with your prospective client either through PDF file, or you can also do a magic link where you can white label it. So like you can put your own URL and your clients can see that URL, right? So either way you can actually share it. So the idea was that to help you first of all know the health of the books so that you can quote your clients properly. In case if there are any questions being asked by client, then you can also justify this, right? Because now you have all the details, right? So those of you who have not tried it, we in fact have quite a lot of good sign up done. And the good thing is that we've received a lot of suggestions. We are actively working on it. So let us know, guys, in case if you guys have not tried it, give it a try. I'm sure you're going to love it. And yeah, I mean, we're here in case if you guys require any enhancements. So, all right. So now let me just stop sharing. So Megan, yes, it will be a separate subscription, but again, one thing I would like to um, tell you is that it's not going to be monthly subscription for sure because it doesn't make sense to pay monthly, right? So it's going to be one-time cost. We, to be honest, we still have not decided what's going to be, but for Zenit customers, that's going to be a way reasonable price that you can expect. So, but it's like a one-time cost that you have to pay for one QuickBooks file. That's it. So, all right. Any questions, guys? Will there be a way to edit invited client users without having to delete and re-add them? Right now we do not have it, but yeah, we can. Let me talk to the team and see what we can do. I think it's an easy ask. Uh, so we'll discuss about that, Christian. So. Sure, Laurie. Thank you very much. Any final questions, guys? We will be, I mean, obviously sharing an official email once these features go live. But we just did not want to delay it. So, like, just wanted to announce this, like, what we've been working on. A lot of you, I mean, we are also grateful because a lot of you have been participating and sharing your feedback and suggestions. So it was really nice to have it, and please continue doing that. Yes, Tiffany, unfortunately, the Slack channel has gone silent as well, but I'm here. I mean, whenever you miss it, I mean, feel free. I'm here. So, all right, guys, looks like we are all good. So I wanted to thank you everyone for taking time joining this webinar. Hope you guys like the features. We hear you guys, so feel free in case if you guys have any suggestions, any crazy ideas, do share it with us. If we like it, we'll certainly make sure that it gets done. All right. So until next time, thank you very much. Talk soon and take care. You have my email, Sherry, so feel free. We have other things to talk about as well, so we'll certainly get in touch with you. You too. You too, Tiffany. All right, guys. Take care.